Hello, everyone, and welcome to our spooky webinar focusing in on the AI features within Cvent. Today, we're going to start with a little introduction about AI and why we, as event professionals, should be leaning into this technology to help us to do our jobs better, faster, more efficiently. And then we're going to highlight the pain points that we all share and discuss how AI can help us move through these parts of the planning and execution process with more ease. And the best part is that AI that we talk about today isn't going to require for you to go buy some new fancy technology. Rather, it is built right into Cvent, a technology you likely already own. And we're not going to leave you empty-handed either. There are so many resources available to you to learn more about using AI and how you can unlock that potential immediately. And so we'll share some of those resources with you. And of course, we love hearing from our audience. We're going to be leaving plenty of time at the end to answer all your questions, but as they pop up, go ahead and put them into the Q&A section, and we'll circle back to them at the end. So without further ado, let's meet our speakers today, three scary witches of AI that are here to show you the magic of the technology at your fingertips. First off, my name is Brooke Gracie. I'm the Director of Demand Generation here at Cvent. I am an AI enthusiast. I am passionate about helping event professionals learn how to use this tech to help them to become more informed, efficient, and of course, tech savvy. And next up, we have Brittany. Brittany, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone. My name is Brittany Fisher. I am on the product marketing team here at Cvent, based in Brooklyn, New York. And my role is really to take our technical developments and make sure that it resonates with our audience, our customers, people like you. I specifically started focusing on our registration platform. And then just about a year ago, I started taking on Cvent AI capabilities from a marketing standpoint. And it has absolutely become a passion of mine. And I'm just excited to get to speak to customers about our new updates here.
Yes. Brittany and I love geeking out about AI around here at Cvent. And another one of our Cvent enthusiasts and AI enthusiasts is Heather. Heather, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Heather Stupai. I am one of the co-founders of Reposit. Reposit is an AI-powered sourcing platform for event planners to match with best fit vendors. We have 10 different categories of vendors, so think restaurants, activities, ground transportation, a whole lot more. But Reposit was acquired by Cvent just this past summer in June. So we are really excited to be able to double down on our progress in this space and just continue to build really innovative solutions within the Cvent ecosystem.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. You guys, there is so much cool stuff to see within the Reposit tool. So we are going to be showing that a little bit later. Thank you, Heather. And I just want to kind of level set here by talking about why are we talking about AI? I probably don't have to convince most of you. You're all here, right? But just to sort of level set, because we know that artificial intelligence is not just a buzzword, right? It holds immense potential. It's going to make our lives easier and ultimately enhance the event management process. And so I want to explore some of the key reasons why AI is crucial for event professionals like yourselves. First of all, AI can help us find efficiencies. I've seen this happen within the Cvent marketing organization and other places, because by automating repetitive tasks and ultimately optimizing workflows, AI frees up time. It frees up valuable time, and it's going to allow us to go strategically make decisions and do more creative event planning if we can find how to automate some of those repetitive tasks. Secondly, AI is allowing you to tap into the gold mine of data that you have. As you are adding more and more tech to your events, ultimately what it's creating is more and more data and more insights. But it's really tough for us as event professionals to find the time to go sift through all of that data and find those golden nuggets of information and insights. AI can help us do that. Another kind of pain point maybe we feel is that it takes a lot of time and energy. We spend a lot of time building content for our events. We're painstakingly creating this, but by leveraging AI algorithms, you can actually transform that event content that you've created into other various formats, blogs, social media posts, personalized event follow-ups. So it's taking all of that time and effort that we've put into our content and letting us extend its reach and making it more evergreen. So now that we understand the importance of AI in the events industry, I want us to shift our focus on how you can harness AI within the products that you already know, specifically within Cvent. We know, dipping your toes into those AI waters can be very scary. It can be overwhelming. And I do a lot of these presentations and I tell people every day that the best way to learn AI is within the products you already know. You're already comfortable in this space, and it just gives you an opportunity to see how AI can help create efficiencies and so much more. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a closer look at these AI features and demonstrate how that they can optimize your processes, how they can help you drive attendee engagement, how you can really help you deliver those exceptional experiences. So get ready to embark on this exciting journey into the world of AI within Cvent products. And by the end of this webinar, I'm hoping that you're going to have a clear understanding of how AI can transform your event management approach, making it more efficient, making it more data-driven, and ultimately more impactful. I'm going to put up this slide for you. I'm not going to read it word for word, but I do have to show this forward-looking statement. Basically, what it's saying here is that we're going to mention some very exciting things on our roadmap, but developments, timelines, those may shift. So anything around shared projections, just know that they're not necessarily set in stone. All right, moving on to the 5 scary pain points that we're going to focus on today. Firstly, finding the right venues and vendors can be a super daunting task. It often involves sifting through countless options. You're negotiating contracts, but with AI-powered tools, you can drastically streamline this process by accessing comprehensive databases, intelligent search algorithms. There's even automated RFP management. That's going to make it so much easier to find the perfect fit for your event. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about that. Next, coordinating with suppliers. This can consume a large amount of time, right? You're not only managing contracts, but you're communicating updates. You're constantly doing the back and forth. And there is Cvent tools, AI-powered platforms that can automate and centralize those supplier interactions. This is obviously going to save you a ton of time, but it's also going to ensure that seamless collaboration throughout that entire event planning process. Another scary pain point is event engagement, something we've been talking about for decades, but is still a pain point that event planners face. It can be very challenging to capture and then maintain your attendees' interest. There are a lot of distractions out there. You guys are probably experiencing them right now. Dogs barking, kid wants your attention, phones ringing, your Slack's going off. You have to keep their attention and increase the engagement at events though. And there are AI-driven technologies such as personalized recommendations, chatbots, gamification, who can resist a game, right? All of these creating enhanced attendee engagement and creating those memorable experiences and really increasing participation from your audience. We've talked about repurposing content and how much time it takes to build all of these content for your events. However, AI can help to automate content generation and repurposing that content and that repurposing process. So we can talk about personalized emails to transforming your event footage into a little social media snippet. AI algorithms really saving you time and effort while maximizing the impact of your content. And lastly, but I would say certainly not least, is unlocking new data insights. This is super crucial for us to improve those future events. There are AI-powered analytical tools. There are features within Cvent that can process vast amounts of data.
Sorry guys, we're just having some technical difficulties. It happens, but Brooke was pretty much done talking about the 5 scary pain points. Really, This data-driven approach enables you to make informed decisions, optimize your strategies, and deliver exceptional experiences. So by leveraging AI technologies, you can overcome these pain points, streamline your event planning, execution, and achieve greater success. So let's explore how AI features within Cvent products can address all of these challenges and empower you to elevate your events to new heights. So let's start by learning about all of the different ways that AI features within Cvent can help with finding venues and vendors. And we'll start specifically with our Cvent vendor marketplace powered by Reposit, and how it can really help you with the reality of finding venues and vendors for your event. So Heather, want to share with us what Reposit has been doing?
Absolutely. Okay, so I think with this audience, I don't have to elaborate on the old way of sourcing venues and vendors. It was often a time-consuming, really manual process, and you had to rely on Google searches, personal connections, or even sometimes just trying to remember that perfect venue from a past event. That results in hours spent browsing through irrelevant search results or waiting for responses from vendors that might not even meet your needs. And so Reposit actually changes all of that with its AI-powered matching technology. And so basically the way it works is planners simply fill out an RFP form with very key fundamental details like the vendor type that they're looking for, their budget, preferences, and our AI instantly connects them with the best fit suppliers within Reposit's extensive network. Now we have over 45,000 offerings today, but that grows exponentially every day. And so the matching process not only saves time and improves accuracy, but it also opens up really creative possibilities. So imagine by leveraging AI, you can be introduced to vendors that you might not have even considered, or things that you might not have originally had in mind based on your original vision. And so AI through matching like this helps compare options on a level playing field, making sure that you get the best ideas, but also the most cost-effective ones that are aligned with your actual needs.
Super exciting. I love to hear about that. And next we'll talk a little bit about venue sourcing. So in case you're not familiar with our Cvent supplier network, or what we call our CSN, it's our tool within Cvent that allows you to find venues for your events. It's actually available for free for all event management customers. But this summer, we recently released an AI search capability that uses natural language to filter down venues to your specific needs. But what does that mean? Okay, so before, if you were searching for a venue, you would type in the city and the dates, and you would click into each venue and see if they had your specifications. And every company and event's specifications are different. Sometimes you're looking based on capacity, sometimes you need to be near another venue, sometimes you need to be near an airport, or just make sure that it has outdoor space. But it's different every single time, and it's a very manual process that takes a lot of time. The new search functionality allows you to search by your specific needs. So now you can type into the search bar, hey, I'm looking for a hotel in Atlanta that is 20 miles from an airport, has a rooftop outdoor space, and holds 50 people. And that will create natural filter criteria in your search so that the venues that you see that are suggested for you fit all of that criteria automatically. There's no more needing to go into each one or trying to find filters that fit exactly what you need. So it really makes it faster and easier to find specifically a venue that's personalized for your event. So those are some ways that AI can help with venue and vendor sourcing. But Brooke, what is the next pain point that we can really dive into?
Yes, I am back. So sorry, you all. There were spirits in my room. They started flickering my lights, and then all of a sudden, poof, I was gone. But I am back, and here we are going to talk about another significant pain point for many of us in the amount of time and coordination it takes to activate suppliers. Often, many of them at the exact same time, right? And I was actually blown away when Heather showed me Plan Pilot. This is within the Cvent vendor marketplace tool. Heather, can you show everyone this amazing tool that they could be using?
Yes, this is my favorite thing to talk about. So Plan Pilot is Reposit's answer that eliminates the back and forth of supplier sourcing for planners. So if you watch this GIF closely, you're going to see a lot of things happening at the same time. So we're going to keep running it, but you'll see Plan Pilot in action. What it's doing is it's working seamlessly to automate the entire RFP process for planners. So once Plan Pilot is activated on an account, it uses a large language model, LLM for short, if you've heard that in the AI space, and it generates a personalized and comprehensive checklist from the detail that was entered onto the RFP. So each RFP has its own custom checklist for what it needs. From there, Plan Pilot autonomously begins handling all vendor communications. Really cool. What we do is we take every single one of the new supplier messages coming through. We take the supplier's profile in real time. And we also have a dedicated LLM to basically reading uploaded documents. It extracts any critical information that may apply to the checklist, and it compares this information against the RFP's checklist requirements. If anything is missing, Plan Pilot will follow up on your behalf with the supplier and ask for more information. And this is all happening without any intervention from you. And so once that checklist is complete, Plan Pilot will alert you, the planner, to log in so you can quickly scan the completed checklist, see the full rundown of how each supplier aligns with that RFP needs, and really have the power to make a decision. And so you can imagine the real power of Plan Pilot lies in its ability to just manage unlimited supplier conversations across multiple RFPs simultaneously. Just make sure that every detail is covered. It frees you as the planner to focus on higher level tasks. And it's like having an AI assistant that never sleeps. It tirelessly works behind the scenes and it keeps all your projects on track. So something we're really, really excited about. And it's been having really high remarks and just feedback from the people who have been using it. So it's exciting.
I mean, it feels like magic, to be frank. You know, it is so cool.
This fitting really for Halloween.
Right? Just in time for Halloween. Yeah, this is really, you know, helps us understand how this AI technology is going to help us moving forward, right? And really, where is our time better spent? Is it going back and forth on these RFPs, or could we get that through a tool like this? So thank you so much, Heather. This is super, super cool. I hope all of you go and check that out. Moving on to a next pain point, you know, for over a decade, I've been talking to event professionals about the importance of engagement within your events. It's like the topic that never sleeps. With every single event, we want to improve the experience. We want to give our audience a new and innovative ways to engage. And what worked 10 years ago isn't going to work the same today. So we always have to be seeking new technology to help us achieve those engagement goals. And Brittany, there have been so many updates to the Cvent product, infusing AI to help us engage our audiences. Can you tell us a little bit more and give us a little peek into the product?
Yeah, absolutely. And like Brooke said, event engagement has been around for a long time, but just a little side tangent before I go in the product. What I think is really cool about AI is that it allows us to create personalization at scale in a way that we've never been able to do before, which is what really is going to make an impact on this event engagement. It's going to feel like every event is personalized to each of your attendees in a way that would have taken you hours, like hours that you didn't have before. So I'll dive into a little bit on each of our products and the feature releases coming out, but like personalization is a huge impact of AI on event engagement. And so speaking of, with session and networking recommendations, a few weeks ago, SwapCard actually put out a report on the state of event engagement. And one of the most notable things to me was the impact of AI on engagement, perfect for what we're talking about right now. But specifically, it stated that using AI matching technology can double, and depending on your event type, sometimes triple the acceptance rate of connections and meetings. That's hugely impactful for your attendees. They're not just randomly trying to meet with people. They're actually getting accepted. They're actually networking and creating those meaningful connections for maybe the first time. And Cvent has these capabilities built right into our attendee hub. So we have attendee recommendations, which helps attendees create connections by recommending them other similar attendees to network with, based on machine learning algorithms that kind of run in the background. And then we also have session recommendations. So those same machine learning capabilities create unique and customized attendee experiences by recommending the most relevant session to them, based off of what similar attendees, so maybe a similar company, similar vertical, have signed up for. And they think that maybe they'll like it too. And the increase in session attendance based on the recommendations, we've seen a huge impact for. So that's some really exciting ways that exist right now in our Attendee Hub platform. The next two things I'm going to mention are technically on our roadmap, but they're very exciting. So I want to make sure that I touch on them and that you all know what's coming out and what we're working on in terms of event engagement. So, are you constantly spending your time answering questions from attendees, especially the same question over and over again? Before the event starts, it's like, what's the dress code? What session should I register for? During the event, what room is the session in? And after the event, who did I talk to at the event? But it's all this information that probably exists on your website right now. It's like when a teacher says, read the syllabus. I'm sure that's how you feel most of the time. That's how we feel most of the time. And adding chatbots to your event website can be really helpful, but then you have to have someone there sitting and monitoring the chat and answering every question. So our new event chatbot, Event Concierge, name is still in the works, but we'll be able to answer all of these questions with your attendees, so you don't have to spend the time doing it. It will know information from your custom pages, from your frequently asked questions. It will know some profile information from your attendees to really give personalized responses, such as suggesting to an architect who's interested in learning more about accessibility, what session should be on their agenda. So I'm very excited about that one, and I think it can make a really big impact in every stage of the event life cycle. But the next one, I have to say I'm a little biased, is probably my personal favorite, is something we're working on for our Attendee Hub app. And this is specifically for attendees. So your attendees go to a conference and they will spend the day going to sessions, they will meet exhibitors, they're doing networking events, they're taking notes, they're doing a ton of things. And then they come back and they're like, what did I just do? It was brain overload. There's so much going on. So our Attendee Hub app will give them a personalized summary of everything that they did at their event. I like to think of this as like a Spotify Wrapped, but for every event that they go to. What I really love about this is that it proves your attendees the value that they got out of going to your event. So they can go back to their organizations and be like, hey, I went to 16 sessions, I learned this, and it was super valuable. And their organization can be like, yeah, you got a great ROI on that. Let's send you to this event every year, every quarter. It's super impactful. And so it just increases your, maybe not registrations, but year over year, quarter over quarter value that people get from attending your events. So that's some exciting ways that we think AI can really impactfully improve event engagement, but we know that's not all that matters to you. So Brooke, what do you think is the next pain point we should focus on?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I recently did a webinar about how to repurpose content, and it was really eye-opening to me how important AI was as part of that conversation. You know, AI technology was built to help us not only create new content, but also to break our existing content into new pieces so that we can engage audiences even after the event has wrapped. Now, Brittany, I'm going to hand it back to you to tell us a little bit more about how the AI writing assistant can help us to get that necessary content out the door, but even faster and easier than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for passing it back over to me. So I think when we think of AI, we think of content. That's really the most common use case this day. It's how it's mostly being used. And it matters. Content is huge. Consistent messaging and content can drive brand awareness, can increase registrations, and ultimately drive overall attendee engagement. So it matters. And if anyone here is familiar with our AI writing assistant that we rolled out last year, it was pretty basic. It was a good start. You really just put in a draft of information and then it would rewrite it based on your tone and length that you suggested. It was okay, could be better. So we're currently in the process of rolling out an updated new AI writing assistant, starting with the event description, which should be released, I think, this week. And we're going to continue rolling it out across the platform over the next couple of weeks and months. But this new writing assistant will be conversational. So there will be pre-prompts that you can choose from to start the conversation. And then you can tell it additional information that you want to make sure is included in any content that you're creating in that area of the platform. And then from there, it can actually ask you questions along the way to ensure that your content is tailored to your specific needs and that it's understanding it correctly. But my favorite part is that the chatbot will already know some of the information from your event. So things like that you've already put in, like event title and your dates. So you don't have to keep putting in the same information over and over again in multiple places. It saves you huge amounts of time. I don't know about you, but like when I use ChatGPT, it just takes me so much time to make sure that I'm giving it all of the information that I need. You have to put in every single detail so it can give you the content that you want. This will already have that. It'll know your context of your event, that you're using AI to create content here for this event and create relevant suggestions based on that. But we know that all of your content isn't just written. Video is a huge part of content. So that's another area that we've made sure to focus on. Cvent's video capabilities are some of the tools that we released throughout this year and can save you a lot of time with content creation. It starts with auto-generated video descriptions. So it'll take your session videos and automatically draft up descriptions. So you don't have to go back through every single video after your event is over, every single session, watch them and try to come up with a description so you can use this video past and repurpose it past your event. It also just like enhances the discoverability and viewer engagement when you provide that quick informative overview when you're having your videos on demand. So starts with description. Then you can make sure to automatically add subtitles and captions that help make your videos more accessible to any audience and is really the norm when putting videos across social media and other marketing platforms these days. It's the expectation to have those captions on for anyone who's listening, I don't know, off without sound and things like that, that they can still understand your video. So keeps you modern on top of it. But the next piece that you can do is that it can automatically add chapters to your videos. So if you have a long content session like this webinar, for example, it can automatically see that we went over 5 scary pain points and it'll create chapters for each one. So your audience, when they're watching it on demand, can just jump directly to what they want to see. Say you don't care about content, repurposing content with AI. You've done that, you've seen that, but you want to know everything else. Just click into the sections, the chapters that you want to see. And then you can take those chapters and create bite-sized clips that you can put on social media and repurpose across however you use your video content to keep people engaged throughout your event. That way, your video content that you've spent so much time working on, put so many hours in, stays relevant across your event cycle, after your event, and keeps your attendees engaged. So these tools really can save you a lot of time managing video content and helping make your events more accessible, which is huge today. But content isn't just your events either. A lot of content goes into RFPs. So Heather, can you tell us a little bit more about how Reposit is helping with that?
Yes. So what we have here is just another GIF of adding to proposal. And so Reposit's whole workflow helps the sourcing process be more streamlined. But of course, as you know, once you figure out what options are available to you, usually in so many cases, especially with the planners that use Reposit and that use Cvent, there's another step, and that step is creating some sort of a review process, either for your internal team to select of what they want to choose or for your client to review. And so what we've added is a button right on the review quote workflow that allows you to click to add to proposal. And this is a smart add to proposal button. We actually have an integration with ChatGPT directly, so you don't need to have your own login or anything like that. But what happens is it pulls in the contextual details of your conversation with this supplier as part of this conversation. And it also combines that with the general description on that supplier's profile. And so what happens is that when you click add to proposal, it literally pops in an image and a description that is customized for this particular offering that you and the supplier have discussed. And then you can just very quickly add each individual RFP selection or option to your proposal so that you eventually have a public facing link to share out to either your team or your client. So it really takes the process of consolidating the information that you've worked so hard to bring to one place, and it makes it easily shareable so that your team can look and decide on what makes sense, and then you can go ahead and book. So hopefully this saves a lot of steps in the process by just streamlining and making it a really smart selection process.
I love this. Every time you pop in, Heather, you're sharing something epic. This is really cool stuff. And moving on to our next pain point, data. This is really AI's bread and butter. This is what AI does. It takes a large amounts of data, it reviews it super, super quickly, and it finds patterns. And ultimately, what it's doing is it's finding really key data insights. And again, this is what AI does best. So as we incorporate more and more technology into our event journey, from registration, maybe you're doing on-site tracking, you have all those post-event surveys, the more data we are left with. And it is really hard sometimes for us to find the time to really dig into all of those data insights and find those golden nuggets of information. So I'm going to kick it back over to Brittany because she's going to tell us more about how Cvent is building predictive insights to help with all of this. Brittany?
Yeah, thanks, Brooke. And I totally agree with you. AI is only as good as your data is. And not to toot our own horn a little bit, but we've been around for 25 years. We know data. And so I'm excited with what we're building. Again, this is on the roadmap. A lot of our data stuff is things that we're still developing, but we are developing predictive insights. So essentially, you can input your registration goals or your revenue goals, and it will look at your past event information and only your information. So it's staying just relevant to you. And it will predict if you're going to reach those goals by your event time. So what's really cool about this is if you're falling a little short, then you can go back and adjust your marketing strategy to ensure that you're hitting your goals. Instead of just hoping, crossing your fingers, praying that maybe you hit those numbers, this really helps ensure that your event is successful. Like I said, it's another thing still being developed. So just keep an eye on our roadmap in the community, and there will be more timelines around then. But the next thing that I'll share is our Insights chatbot. Predictive analytics is a great way of using data, but I feel like the biggest challenge that I see with data is that it can take so much time to find. We are developing a chatbot. So when your stakeholders are asking you, well, what's the reg goal or what's the registration number for this event, even though you have 20 events and you don't know this off the top of your head, you can ask this chatbot for any of your reporting data and it can surface it right there. So right now, instead of going into your reports, finding the right report, filtering it and editing the data to your specific needs, you can just ask a question to find what you're looking for. So that way you're ready for anything that's thrown at you. We have a lot of different ways that we're using AI, but if hopefully you can tell that we're trying to think about your pain points and really, really make impactful differences to the day-to-day event building experiences, attendee experiences, and we really have some exciting things on the roadmap. But Brooke, I'll pass it back to you to wrap things up and just share some resources that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the great thing about webinars like this is that it starts the AI conversation. It kind of gets your creative juices flowing, but let's be real, it often leaves you with more questions than answers sometimes. The good news is that there are many Cvent resources out there. First, we did drop our LinkedIn profile links in the chat, and I recommend you follow us. We love talking to other AI enthusiasts, no matter how much or a little expertise, quote unquote, you may have. It's okay, right? We're all learning from each other, and LinkedIn is a great way to do that. There are also 3 other resources I would recommend you checking out. First, we have the top AI tools for event success white paper. In this white paper, we are exploring the significant role of AI in revolutionizing the event and travel planning industry. So it's going to look at AI tools like ChatGPT, like Google Gemini, and how those can help streamline operations, enhance your efficiency, and foster some of those creative solutions. So you're going to learn about future trends for AI at events, but you're also going to learn about using AI to automate some of those routine tasks, leveraging AI to generate engaging content, all those kinds of things. We also have an ebook, Mastering AI for Events. And so this is a guide where you're going to explore the power of generative AI and how it can impact your event planning and your marketing strategies. So you're going to learn things like what generative AI is, how you say it, and how it can help you, how event planners and marketers are using AI tools today, and it's going to give you actual names of actual AI tools. And what I love about this is best practices for writing great AI prompts. This is like a new skill we're all trying to learn, and I love that there's a best practices section in there. And then lastly, the top AI tools to event success guide. From sparking creativity to getting valuable insights into that data, like we were talking about, AI tools allow you to get more out of your events. And this is a very cool checklist to tap into the potential of all those innovations that we see and drive meaningful engagement. So I absolutely recommend you download all 3 of these and check them out. The other thing I want to mention before we get to our Q&A is that if during this webinar, it sparked some interest into doing a fuller demo, maybe a one-on-one demo with our sales team, I would encourage you to do so. And as a bonus, you could earn a $100 Amazon gift card by signing up to complete a demo with us. You just need to click the button. Oh, it popped up right there at the bottom of your screen to sign up for that and get your $100 gift card. If you are outside of the US, the gift card can be converted from $100 US to any other currency available of your choosing. Okay, and with all of that, we are going to get to questions. We've had some great questions filtering in as we've been going here. I'm going to start with probably you, Brittany, and this question is a little bit more geared towards the chatbot you were talking about. So is that chatbot available with the Attendee Hub's attendee website?
That's a great question. I should caveat that it's not available yet, but when it does come out, it will be available across the platform, actually. So it'll be Attendee Hub event app, Attendee Hub website. We're hoping to put it on the event website, maybe throughout the exhibitor process. We're still figuring out exactly, but it should definitely be available as a part of the Attendee Hub website when it comes out.
Awesome. I know you have the tough job to do here, Brittany, where you have to sell us the dream of all of these amazing things that are coming, but maybe some of them aren't quite here yet. I actually have another question in here about the personalized attendee summary, and if that is available now, and if not, when it would be available.
Yep, and that's a great question too. I know it's such a tease to talk about things on the roadmap because we want them now. You know, I love this. The personalized attendee summary is not available yet. They're hoping for early next year. It's in development right now, and they're just trying to figure out the last couple of kinks. So keep an eye out for in our Cvent community. We have the release notes and the roadmap, and that's the best place to check out anything that might be coming soon.
Amazing. Love that. Thank you. I actually also have a question about Reposit. So this might be a good question. It has a question about how much of this may cost. I actually saw somebody in the Q&A said, trick or treat, can you give us an idea of costs? Which I know is also one of those tough questions to ask on a webinar like this. Yeah. But the question is really around, is that Reposit tool a free Cvent account or is it another subscription? How does that all work?
So today, Reposit is still a standalone tool that we are beginning to integrate into Cvent. So in order to get access to Reposit, you still do need to talk to either your Cvent account manager, or if you have a Reposit account manager, you can definitely reach out to them too. But pricing totally depends on how much volume you do, what kind of a planner you are, what kind of events you plan, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I would really recommend just scheduling a 5-10 minute conversation with your account rep, and we'll be able to come up with something that makes sense for you.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, I mean, click the button, request a demo. You can get that $100 gift card and learn more about this tool. I would highly recommend that. It is very cool, very, very cool. Huge time savings with a tool like that. And I know that, you know, Cvent has a lot of products in our platform, and there's the Cvent supplier network, and then there's Reposit's venue marketplace. So I think the audience is kind of trying to figure out, where do I go for what and what are the differences? Maybe you guys can tag team that answer.
Yeah, that's a great question. Heather, why don't you take a first stab and I can round it out with some CSN highlights after.
Yeah, I would say if you are planning a lot of events that are really comprehensive, really complex, start in CSN, start in the Cvent experience. And Reposit is being introduced into Cvent at very natural places where, okay, maybe you might have just booked your venue or awarded your venue. Now it's time to start sourcing your vendors. That's a really natural place to move into the Reposit experience. And now through some of the integration work we're doing on the tech side, we're making it very easy to just seamlessly move into the Reposit experience and have that data pushed back into Cvent so you still have everything in one place. I would say if you spend most of your time not just finding venues, but also finding, you know, these other categories of vendors, maybe it's like your rentals, your decor, your staffing needs, transportation, like there are 10 categories in Reposit. I definitely recommend that you at least take a very quick demo with Reposit so you can see how that can totally transform your workflow, because it might make more sense. If that's what you spend most of your time doing, you can actually start in Reposit and then push that data into Cvent if it becomes necessary too. So it's really customizable. We really want to understand your specific workflow. So I don't want to answer that too generically. But I would say if you find yourself working with vendors a lot and trying to source, we could save you a lot of headache there.
Yep, I think that's great. I think that summed it up pretty well. The one thing I will say is that the Cvent supplier network really started with a focus on hotels and restaurants. So that's really the bread and butter there. What's really cool about Reposit's vendor marketplace is I think there's a lot more variety there in terms of the types of vendors that you can source through that. But they're built to work together. We want them to work together, and we want to make the workflow as easy as possible for you. So
amazing. I have a few more questions that had come in around CSN, and so I'm going to pose those really quickly. But before I do, for any of you that are wondering, where are the links to those resources Brooke promised me? Well, they are here. There's actually a resources button. It might be on the side of your screen. It might be on the bottom of your screen. But if you click there, you can get access to all those resources that we're talking about. Coming back to CSN, there's one question here. This is really about the search functionality. You know, we're talking about, you can find this very specific venue that has everything you need. Is it pulling this data right from the profile, or is it looking kind of outside of the profile to further make that, you know, AI search a little bit more robust? I don't know the answer to this, so I'm super curious what you guys have to say.
Yeah, Nicholas, that's a great question. From my understanding, the data is being pulled directly from the profile. I think that that is really interesting feedback to search outside of it in case there's something missing. And I can pass that along to our product team. One thing that we are trying to be wary of is we know that there's a lot of concerns around data security when it comes to AI modeling and AI data that we're giving you. So I think that's one of the things that we're trying to be apprehensive of taking something from the internet or outside of our data source, rather than keeping it in what we know and making sure that the data is accurate and not hallucinating on you the way that other AI tools can. So good feedback. I'll take it back to our team, and it's definitely something that we can think about in the future.
Yeah. I have a similar question too. This is actually related to the networking recommendations, but it's a similar kind of topic, which is, in order to give very good networking recommendations, the profile probably needs to be pretty well filled out as well, right? So what can people do to make sure that those attendee profiles are filled with all of that valuable information that's going to fuel those recommendations?
I love this question because this is also something that we're focusing on. The best way to do this is to encourage your attendees to fill out their bios, their attendee bios, when they're creating their Attendee Hub profile. So there's like a whole profile information that they can fill out. There's different contact fields that you can bring in depending on what you want shown throughout the profile. So the more that you can encourage it, the more that we can use that data from their profile to understand their interests. That's one thing we're going to really focus on in the next year is if they say that they're interested in AI, accessibility, and sustainability, that we're taking that information. So best way to do that is encourage them every step of the way, email them, push notification to them to make sure that their profile is filled out.
Yeah. Just tell them, you know, if you fill out your profile, you're going to get a whole lot more recommendations, right? Make a whole lot more better use of your time. So I love that. This is, you know, something we've also been talking about for years when it comes to events. And Brittany, you must have inspired this crowd, because everybody is furiously looking for the AI search box or the smart search in CSN. Is it available? Where do they find it? How can you kind of direct people on where they need to go so they can start using some of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I should mention, when Heather was talking about the pricing question earlier, everything that's available now in terms of AI is free and available in your account. However, we know that AI is kind of a sticky thing, and so it's enabled at the account level. So if you don't see it today, I would reach out to your account team and see if they can turn it on for you or make it available, or if there's any reason that it's not on for decisions made from your administrator or something like that. So reach out to your account team and they can get you set up with our AI features.
Okay, that's super easy answer. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There's a few more questions that we have in here. There's one about the event wrapped. You know, I think the event wrapped is so cool. I love doing the, you know, Spotify wraps at the end of the year, and I love this concept for events. But some question around, you know, there's so many different features and functionality that you can kind of flip on or off within Cvent. can it be turned off if there aren't a lot of features being used? So a little bit more of a technical question, but maybe you can answer this for us, Brittany.
Yeah, from what I understand, because it's not out yet, take it with a grain of salt because it might change. But from what I understand, it can be turned off. The other thing that I think is really fascinating, maybe not for this group, because I hope that you all love AI, that's why you're here. But like I said, there are organizations that we know can't use AI. So there should also be a feature functionality of this, that this will still exist even if you don't have AI turned on in your account. So it should be pretty customizable in terms of what you can turn on and what you can turn off, and just make sure that it's serving up the right information. But we will also, from my understanding, we won't serve you blank information. We won't make your attendees see that. So it'll be customized to what features and functionality that your event is using to.
Amazing. Well, I think that got us through most of the questions here today. A lot of people, if you don't see the AI functionality, go to your Cvent admin, talk to your account manager, figure out how you can turn those on. A lot of these features, not all of them, are free. Part of your Cvent account is an amazing way to start using AI, figuring out how this can impact within tool you already have. We're so excited to be able to show you some of these features and functionality. Please check out the resources. Follow us on LinkedIn so we can continue this conversation. And thank you, everybody, for attending today. I hope you have a spooky Halloween season. Thank you so much.